Okay, this is lesson number 18. We are learning JavaScript by examples, and this is what we're trying to recreate, at least part of it. So we're trying to understand how this grid is created and how this grid changes the color in the number of cells. So what it is, you type in an answer. So this is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This is 14% of the grid is colored. So when I press enter, I get a tick mark. So this is 16% of the grid is colored. When I press enter, I get a tick mark, and if I type in a wrong answer, I will get a cross. Okay, and the percentage of the grid that is colored is changing automatically. So at the moment we are learning how to create this grid. So I will close this. All right. So this is what we have created so far. What it is, if I double click on it, it will ask for the number of rows and then number of columns, and a grid will be created according to whatever the input was. So this grid is 10 by 10, 10 rows and 10 columns. If I refresh it, 5 and maybe 6. So in this lesson, we want to get rid of these prompts, and we want the system to generate these numbers automatically. So I will close this and I will open this with my Sublime text editor. You can use any text editor that you want, and this is what it is. So we're trying to get rid of these prompts. So I will save this file as grid 4 because this is the 4th lesson on the grid and the 18th lesson in total. So I will resize it, minimize it. This is the new version of this thing which we will modify. I will double click on it and I will change the size of it, so we can see the editor and the browser side by side. Okay, so we are trying to, let me just give it some numbers. So we're trying to get rid of these prompts. Okay, and we want application to generate random numbers. So we have to use two built-in methods. The first one is Math.ceil brackets, and then the second method Math.random. Okay, two brackets again. So what this will do, the Math.random methods creates a number randomly, but this is a decimal number. All right, so if I comment this out and I alert this variable, okay, I think I should change this to rows because it's more than one rows and rows here as well. Okay, so if I save it, I should have 1 as an alert. So I'll save it and I refresh it, and I will always have 1 as the alert. So there's another method. If I say floor, floor rounds up the number to the lower side. If I save it, refresh it, I should have 0 as an alert. 0, refresh it, it will always be 0. Okay, so let me remove this floor method just to show you that the Math.random method generates a decimal number. Save it again and refresh it, and I have a decimal number. If I refresh it, I have different decimal numbers. If I refresh it, I have a different decimal number. So it's generating random numbers, but these are decimal numbers. So we have to use either Math.ceil or Math.floor to create a whole number. So Math.ceil will round that number to 1 and Math.floor will round that number to 0. Okay, now this is not helping us at all. So if I save it now, I should have 1. Okay, so it's generating only one number. So what we have to do, whatever number is generated, we have to multiply that by 10, multiply by 10. So what it will do, we are now generating numbers from 1 to 10. So if I save it, and I have 2 this time. If I refresh it, I have 7 this time. If I refresh it, I have 7 again. Refresh it, 9 this time. But the number will never go beyond 10. Okay, I will remove this and I will use the same method. I will uncomment this. Okay, and I will use the same method here. Now the rows and the columns are randomly generated. If I save it now, the rest of the script is as it is. So we have just removed the prompts. If I refresh it, refresh again. Okay, so it's generating random numbers and it's creating a grid randomly. Okay, so that's it for now, and I will see you in the next lesson.